All right, today we are going to talk about place value and decimals. Place value and decimals. So if I have a number that looks like this, let's talk about what the place value is. If you know where the hundreds place is, point to it. Where's the hundreds place? All right, this 2 right here is your hundreds place, right? The hundreds place. Just ignore those decimals for a little bit. And where's the tens place? Good. This number right here is your tens place. And then you should know where the ones place is. This is your ones place. Okay? So with any number, the very last number before the decimal is going to be your ones place. And then you go up to the 3, it's the tens place. And then you go up to the 2, it's the hundreds place. If we had another number in front of the 2, that would be the thousands place. But we're not going to talk about that one right now. Okay, now on the other side of the decimal, if we're looking at the right of the decimal, this is where it gets a little tricky. Okay, so you should have a piece of paper and you should be writing this down. This 7 right here is called the tenths place. That TH right there is really important because it's different than this tens place. It's the tenths place. Okay, and then the 6 that we have right next to it, the 6 is called the hundredths place. The 6 is the hundredths place. Again, that TH is really important because the hundredths place is different than the hundreds place. That's super, super important. Okay, and then the 5 that we have down here, our very last one, we have, I'm gonna make that one, okay, that color. This 5 is the thousandths place. Again, it's different than the thousands place. It's the thousandths place. Okay, so those are super, super important. When we are adding or subtracting decimals, we have to line up our place value. So what I mean by that is if we have another number that's 3.4.62, okay, let's look at this real quick. We know that this 4 right here is our ones place, right? And we know that this 3 is our tens place. Oh, I use the same numbers. And then this 6 over here is the tenths place. And then this 2 right here is our hundredths place. Okay? So we need to line up our hundredths place with our hundredths place, and our tenths place with the tenths place, the ones place with the ones place. Okay, so that will look like this: 234.765. If we're adding these numbers, we would add the 3 needs to go right under that 3. The 4 needs to go right under that 4. Our decimals should line up. The 6 in the tenths place and the 7 in the tenths place need to line up. And then the 2 in the hundredths place needs to be right under the 6 in the hundredths place. Okay, and for this, it is easy to just fill in those zeros, right? And then we're going to solve that problem. Okay, so 5 plus 0 is 5. 6 plus 2 is not 1, is 8. 7 plus 6 is 13. Put my 3 there and my 1 up here. I can't forget about my decimal. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 3 plus 3 is 6. 0 plus 2 is 2. So my answer is 269 and 385 thousandths is how you would say that number. Okay? So remember, your decimals need to line up. Your tenths place needs to be right on top of or right below your other tenths place. Okay? This is the most common mistake that I see. 234 and 765 thousandths plus 34 and 600 or 62 hundredths. Okay, so like that. So then they add this and you get some random number like that, okay? This 3 is in your 10th place, so it needs to be under this 3 that's in the 10th place. So this is not right, okay? You need to line up those decimals, okay? Do you see what I mean? The 4, those are both the 1's place. Whoops, I did the wrong color, but that's okay. And then right here, these are both your 100ths place, okay? So you must line up those decimals, okay? We're gonna do 2 more practice problems. We'll do a subtraction problem, and then we'll do a money problem, okay? So if you need to pause the video right now so you can write down the hundreds, tens, ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths place, go ahead and do that. If not, we're going to move on to a subtraction problem. Okay, so for our next problem, we are going to do subtraction, okay? It is going to be, we're gonna do 13 and 64 hundredths minus 8 and 2/10ths, okay? 13.64 minus 8.2. I want you to see if you can line this up. So pause the video, line it up, and then check it with mine, okay? Pause it right now. All right, so we have 13 and 64 hundredths minus, okay, I need to look. My decimal needs to be lined up, so I can put my decimal right under this decimal, okay? And now, this is my 1's place, and this is my 1's place, so that number should go right under the 3, okay? And then over here, this number is my 10ths place, and this number is my 10ths place, so I should put that number right under the 6, okay? And remember, I can fill these in with zeros because they're on the outside. All right, so now let's do it. Can we do 4 minus 0? Yep, 4 minus 0 is 4. Can we do 6 minus 2? Yep, also 4. Bring down my decimal. Can I do 3 minus 8? No, I can't, so I'm going to borrow. This becomes a 13. Can I do 13 minus 8? Yes, 13 minus 8 is 5. So my answer is 5 and 44 hundredths. 5 and 44 hundredths. All right, the next one we're going to do is a money problem. This is very similar to a lot of things that you've seen on tests, and I see a lot of kids make this mistake. Okay, let's say you have $13 minus 7 cents. Okay, we had a problem like this, and I had a lot of kids put 6. Okay, we're not doing 13 minus 7. We're doing $13 minus 7 cents. Okay, very, very different. So let's write these numbers. Let's write these dollar amounts out. So we've got $13. $13 looks like this, right? And then 7 cents. What does 7 cents look like? Well, it's $0, right? And then 0.7. That is what 7 cents looks like. Put my dollar sign. Okay. So we are going to subtract $13 minus 7 cents. Okay. This one is going to be, we're going to have to borrow a little bit. Okay. Because we can't do 0 minus 7, and you can't borrow, you can't do this 0 minus 7, and you can't borrow from this 0. So we're going to borrow from here. We're going to make that a 2. We're going to make this a 10. Okay. And then we're going to cross it out, make it a 9 so that we can make that a 10. Okay. 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 0 is 9. Bring down my decimal. 2 minus 0 is 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. So my answer is $12.93. $12.93. Okay. That sounds a lot better than $6. Okay. $12.93. All right, I hope that was helpful, and I hope next time you have a problem that has decimals that you will remember to line up your place value. Line up the decimals, then make sure your 1's place, those are on top of each other, then make sure your 10's place are on top of each other, your hundredths and tenths place, make sure everything is right where it's supposed to be, that they're all lined up. One hint that I have for you is write big, okay? If you try to write a tiny little problem like this, you're going to mess up somewhere because it's too small. Write big so that you can see where your place value is. You can see in between each spot. Make sense? All right, good luck on your next test.